If I had to start from scratch in 2025, no money, no experience, just ambition, here's exactly what I would do step by step. Most of y'all are trying to skip steps, and I'm gonna show you a few things that go into the blueprint to actually, being profitable that I wish that I had. Mindset really comes first. It's crazy. I understand it a lot more because I've been doing it, over a decade now. But mindset plays way more of a part to being profitable than like technical analysis and other things like that. First, I'd study psychology more than anything. Things like this video that you clicked on, I'd be looking at a lot more stuff that has to do with what things psychologically go into trading rather than the technical analysis, the fundamental analysis, and other things like that. So at the beginning, it's really all psychology. It's all up here mostly. Second, I'd learn to stay patient, detached, and disciplined. So when I first started trading, me personally, like as a youngin, getting in out of little stocks and cryptos and whatnot, it was emotional. It was really, really emotional. It wasn't until I got a little bit older, was doing this for almost 5 years or so, where I got to the point where, and I started trading forex and everything, where it was like, okay, it's not super, you're not supposed to be super high energy, like staring at the charts. That's not supposed to be the goal. It's supposed to be something that you're doing calm, patiently, and disciplined. Like you have rules and you don't go outside of those rules. That's what discipline means in this space. Write this down. 90% of trading is mental. 10% of it is the technical fundamental analysis type part. Next big thing is you need to pick one market and master it. So when I began my trading, I was trading a whole bunch of different things. So I was trying to be tapped into a whole bunch of different markets, economies, and whatnot, just to understand what was really going on. And when there's less noise, you get way better execution. So for about 3-ish years or so, I only traded Euro USD. Now I looked at other things, I analyzed other things here and there just to kind of occupy my time. But for the most part, the only thing I actually traded was Euro USD. It's why I'm like kind of not known for it, but within my community, when it comes to like when I say anything about Euro USD, it's like it's not a statement of fact, but it's close to that because I took a lot of time to just master that one instrument, and it made it a lot easier to understand how to move around and other things. So when you have less noise while you're building that foundation, you'll get better results. So like when it comes to just one pair, you learn how it moves, you learn its daily behavior, you learn what news affects it, you learn what news doesn't affect it, you learn how it starts to move when red folders drop. There's a lot to learn about one single asset, so learn as much as you can and master it, and you'll be able to prosper and go towards that consistency level a lot faster when there's just less noise that you're taking in. Get a strategy that matches you. I'll say it again. Get a strategy that matches you. I wouldn't chase signals. If you're just starting off, I wouldn't just look for a signal service or something like that. I'd go and I'd find a team or a community, one or two communities that really suit you, like-minded individuals, maybe some newer individuals as well, things like that. When you focus on one framework that fits your schedule, it helps bring out that level of calm, level of familiarity that you feel when you go to places that you're comfortable in. You know what I'm saying? That's why there's a home court advantage in sports, because that's where they're comfortable at. That's where they hoop the most. So you go and you work with a team, you get comfortable with some individuals, you get to know some folks, you get a good mentor, and from there things start to feel a little more like, okay, this is normal. It's not such a high pressure thing. There's a lot of traders out there just straight up doing it all, learning it all on their own. And I'll tell you from experience, because I went about 6 years without talking to anybody about trading or investing or anything like that. And then about I was 20 years old, and I started getting into a few group chats because I had a friend that I met in college that was really into the trading space, and he had gave me some extra resources to deepen my knowledge and whatnot, and put me into a few of his chats where there was a lot of like-minded individuals. Shout out to Easy Money Snipers. A lot of like-minded individuals that allowed me to see what other people were doing, kind of see, okay, this person's profitable. Why? What kind of things are they doing? Little things like that. One thing I'll say is, you know, buying a course is great, and it does fast track your learning. But networking with individuals that have been trading for a while is almost as good. You know what I mean? It's almost as good as paying for a course. I understand a lot of you are probably watching this video because you don't feel like paying for a course, and that's perfectly fine. You will pay your tuition regardless. you're gonna take some losses in the space, because that's just chalking up to the game. You're taking that route. There's nothing wrong with that route. That route takes a little bit longer, but hopefully videos like this make it a shorter process. Letting you know that you need to focus more on the psychology factor, less on the technical factor, because there's plenty strategies that work in this space. There's a lot of strategies that work, but I'll tell you, when it comes to being consistent and profitable, there's only a few real mental strategies that will keep you in the game. You know what I mean? And that's being chill, calm, consistent, and on your risk management. All right, and that you hone that with your demo account. All right, so going into the next point, live longer on that demo. Live longer than it feels comfortable on that demo. I demo traded while I was making, like, I don't demo trade as much anymore these days. I still will here and there if I'm literally just bored and all my positions are just like doing great, and I'm just like honestly just killing time. I do it, but I demo traded while I made over $100,000 in the markets. You know what I mean? In a single 6-month span. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not, when it comes to demo trading. The thing is, a lot of traders, and my own brother's guilty of this, is they will trade a demo account differently than they trade their live account. And that's a big mistake, a really big mistake. Don't get on your demo account and act all frivolous just because it's a demo account and it's not real money. I think it's more because I'm a competitive person. I mean, I like to win. It doesn't matter what space it is. Demo account, real account, sports, media, whatever it is, I want to win. You know what I mean? So for me, treating a demo account like a real account was pretty easy. I can understand how it may be a little bit harder for folks to get into that, but I urge you and I encourage you heavily to treat it like it's real money, because you get more reps in, you get more reps in. That way, when you do get on your live account, if you're truly doing the same exact thing, then those demo profits should transfer over like that, because you're just doing the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, when you're trading a demo account, you're getting real market quotes. Now your fees may differ a little bit, but for the most part, you're getting the real experience. You just need to actually treat it like one. You know what I'm saying? If I've taken too many trades for the week, like that's out of my system, or I'm looking at too many setups for the week that's out of my system, then I'll demo trade, because I'm just like, well, I'm already making money with my system, right? There's no reason to really risk more. I got an itch for trading because I'm a trader, so I'll hop on a demo on Friday and run up a few trades. But I encourage you all to treat that demo like it's real money. I've seen too many traders sending crazy buku profits over the years from demo accounts, and then they get on a live account and it's not the same thing. And it's like, it should be the same thing. If you have the ability to execute well in that demo, then you have the ability to execute well on that live account. But the problem usually lies in the fact that up here they're treating it differently. They're not really treating it differently on the charts, but they're managing it a little differently. Like, they're letting their losers run a little longer than they should, and they're cutting their winners short. Little things like that. Things that I know that I've done in the past that hindered from me becoming a profitable trader. Now, I'll say, I had a lot of really good traders, really good people around me. So like my as soon as I got into the space of trading leverage and trading Forex, it was not an instant like I'm profitable, but it I know from the outside looking in, it probably looked like it was like instant. You know what I mean? Because you know, I went from not talking about, you know, anything to like, oh, I'm making all this buku bread. You know what I mean? And it's because I had a lot of really honed individuals around me, letting me know about, you know, little mistakes that they were making, and you know, it helped me weed out, you know, filter out all of the BS. And I actually picked it up early on that psychology played a really big role into it. So I started kind of honing that side of trading as soon as, you know, as soon as I could. And that was around to this point is about 5 years ago. I was actually trading before I was legally allowed to, but this is why that kids aren't allowed to trade. I was consistent, and I was profitable here and there, but I wasn't consistently profitable. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't until I got a little bit older, you know, started being around some more like-minded individuals, understanding that psychology factor of it, that I did break that barrier and start really hitting the ground and becoming, you know, extra profitable, super consistent, and, you know, gave me the tools that I needed to build my own strategy. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to really lock in on a strategy unless your mental is really all the way there and ready to handle, you know, the market conditions that strategy is going to play into. Because, you know, if you get excited when you see blue screens, or you get sad when you see red screens, you need to step back from the charts. Okay? Because emotions shouldn't be in this space, not even a little bit. All right. So the next thing I'd say is, a lot of folks like to start off with like big accounts, and I know that some other people recommend that you shouldn't trade leverage with, you know, less than like $1,000. I'm not a proprietor of that side of things. I think if you have $100 and you're willing to take the losses to learn, and it's not $100 that, you know, you gotta feed your baby with or nothing, then, like, you know, by all means. Because if you go with the recommended lot sizing for a $100 account, you can trade all the Forex pairs pretty reasonably with a 1 to 100, 1 to 200 leveraged account. And, you know, as long as you're taking 0.01, 0.02 lot size trades, making sure you're watching your stop losses, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. And it's you have the ability to scale from there. You know, you start with 100, start with $200, $300. You know, it's not, if you're being, you know, consistent, watching your risk management, it's not hard to scale from there. Now, don't go trade gold and NASDAQ on $100 account. That is not. Now, if you have a broker that has like NASDAQ Mini, then yeah, by all means. I mean, by all means, NASDAQ Mini is, I mean, it's mini NAS. It moves well, and like, that's honestly for my account flippers out there, that's the easiest way to flip an account with like low risk. Because, like, you know, you can set a reasonable stop loss, but you have the ability to make like $20-$30 on a $50 account, risking $4 or $5. You know what I'm saying? Like, stack little wins like that, and those are the kind of reps that I encourage on their demo accounts. So like, I mean, if you can get yourself a little $500, $1,000 demo account, practice on that, because if you give yourself less room to work with at the beginning, then it's gonna help you be more selective with your opportunities. If you get a $25,000, $100,000 trading account for your demo, it's not that realistic for you if you just started, because you're not about to go get a $25,000 leverage account live right now. You know what I mean? You're not there yet. You got to scale up. You know what I mean? So I encourage y'all to be as realistic as possible with your demo accounts, on top of being okay with starting small on your live accounts. I'll say, buy time, not every course. Now, I mentioned it earlier. You should get like 1-2 mentors or communities that you stick with. If you gotta pay for that, you gotta pay for that. But spend more time on like the free stuff out there. There's plenty of free resources out there. There's a free playlist on how to trade on this channel that you're watching right now. You can go over to the playlist tab. You'll be able to find that pretty easily. We do have a course. Now, granted, you're watching this because you probably don't feel like buying a course, so I'm not going to try to sell it to you. But when it comes to figuring out all this stuff and going through it, search more psychology-based videos. Not trying to get this guy's strategy, trying to get that guy's strategy, trying to figure out how this guy executes. He's probably executing 4 or 5 different strategies, and he's just executing it well because of the fact that his or her psychology is locked in. And that's what separates that 10% from the rest of the crop, is that 10% understands themselves within the trading space. A lot of you are trying to understand the trading space, and that's it. And you gotta understand you in the trading space, and then you'll really start to see your opportunities weed themselves out. A lot of people, when you first start off, do a whole lot of chart watching. You just you take a trade, you're just staring at the chart, waiting for it to go blue, and it's like, no, you need to set some specific times for you to look at the charts, some specific times for you to study, some specific times for you to, do the rest of the stuff you got to do with your life, because the goal in becoming a trader isn't to spend all your time trading. That's for darn sure. Quality, way better than quantity. If you can get one good setup every week, it's better than 20 random setups that you don't really understand what's going on with the asset. You know what I'm saying? Like, me personally, I'd rather have like 1, 2, 3 setups every week rather than go through and actually execute on every single pair that we talk about on the show. That's not what I do. I do that as an informative, just in case somebody wants to trade this, another person wants to trade that. You know what I'm saying? Little things like that. But me personally, and you can see it in the free chats that we have. Like, I'm for the most part focused on 1, 2, maybe 3 setups at a time every week. I don't generally go too far over that. If I do see a 4th setup, I probably won't talk about it. I'll probably just look at it or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just because it, like I said, less noise, way better execution. Less noise, way better execution, I promise. So when it comes, just to kind of like wrap it all, because that's for the most part, I don't want to just reiterate the same things over and over and over again. It's longevity over hype. All right, you just getting into this space, take it from a guy that's been around for a decade. All right, making buku money in the first year is cool, but making hundreds and thousands and millions over years, built up over time, it's way better. And it's easy for people to get into the space during an easy season, man. Like a lot of people don't know that these markets got different seasons, got different shifts. It has, you know what I'm saying, different conditions, and a trader can get caught up making money in one season, and then they get hit with another season, and now for some reason what they was doing is not working. It's like, well, if what you're doing ain't working, it's up here. All right, watch how you're executing up here. All right, I love y'all. Make sure you're kind to somebody today. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Hey, so if you want to support the channel, slide over to our merchandise store. We have new drops coming every single week. We got a whole bunch, got the summer coming up, so we had to hit you with the swimsuit over here, you know what I'm saying? We got the bags, we got hats, we got shirts. Go over there, find something you like. It supports the channel, helps us do more content, and all of that good stuff. So be sure to slide over there. There's gonna be, again, new drops every single week, so make sure you check back every week to see if there's some new stuff that you like. I can't wait, because these slides right here are actually gonna be coming. The drip LaFleur slides are coming out with LaFleur instead on the print, so that'll be nice, kind of meshing those two designs together. That's gonna be a cool little taste of summer while we have it all extra hot outside for you guys. So if you guys want to support the channel, go get you your piece real quick. Prices aren't too crazy, but inflation is inflation. But I love y'all.